Hello again, folks, and I hope everyone is well. So, I haven't done one of these videos in a while because of varying reasons, but I'm overdue to make a social observant or observing slash analysis kind of video because I do feel that sharing knowledge and information is power. I do feel it is beneficial to folks out there, though I do know some individuals don't like being told what to do or told things they don't want to hear. So, in that instance, let me tell you right now then that I would advise you to, again, not watch this video further. With that said, a disclaimer: I am not a physician. I am not a psychologist. I am not a FBI profiler. I have no degrees in those instances. All I have is knowledge and experiences from in my own life offline over the years, as well as my online life since 1996 to current as of this video in May 2020. So I have a lot of knowledge and information to share. It's not meant to be BS, it is just meant to be honest words, honest observations. Again, to those that feel offended by it, I'm sorry, but again, this is my disclaimer right now of what I will be sharing and talking about. I'm going to make this 2 videos so it's not too long or too bad because I might ramble at times. But if you're interested in opening your mind, trying to understand and comprehend things, I encourage you to, you know, stay here and watch the videos and further gain some understanding and knowledge about society and what has been going on in it and whatnot. Again, follows under the last G, general interest. With that said, here we go, folks. So I'll call this one Understanding Your Fellow Human Being. And simply what it comes down to at the end of the day, there are so many varying factors going on with society, events going on in countries, that it makes people have varying degrees of understanding or thoughts and opinions on certain matters. Again, when I say knowledge is power and trying to learn and understand something, it actually does help you to interact with your fellow human being. Whether they're in Canada, whether they're in Finland, Sweden, the USA, South Africa, the more you can know and understand. Sorry, that's the key word here, is understanding what you are being presented by information given to you about a certain individual's region where they're born. Also, again, as I said, maybe even current underlying physical or mental issues with the individual. The more you can bring that in together, the more easier it is for you to, you know, understand who you're dealing with. It's also easier for you to then interact with the person and, you know, just make life a lot easier. And that is something, again, there are probably, I would say, given what I've seen over the last, well, especially the last like 8 years over the YouTube platform, there are, for the most part, I'll put it in a percentage. I would say there's probably at least 60 to 70% of good individuals or human beings out there on YouTube. And then the remainder of the populace or accounts out there on YouTube are pretty much people that are mentally unstable or are bad people, period. So to me, to be able to deal with the negative, toxic people on YouTube, you have to have that understanding and knowledge about personalities and personality traits and so forth to, understand maybe why they are who they are or how to actually deal with these individuals. So let's just stop it at this point and move on to the next topic. Keeping your information safe on YouTube. Simply put, it really is a here nor there matter. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, as long as you have publicly printed information in anything, especially a phone book, your information is readily available for anyone to seek out and use. So, in some ways, being paranoid about not giving out your information at the end of the day is moot point. Further so, people in the USA seem to have the ability to do background checks on people easily as well too. So there are companies there in the United States that will gladly do a total background check on you as an individual, especially if you're in the States. That would probably be a bit concerning. At the end of the day, it is not too much of an issue unless you get an individual who wishes or who has repeatedly said that they wish to do physical harm to you. Then it's an issue. Then you need to escalate it and bring the matter up to your local police department, or in the case of if the individual is in another country, you need to somehow try to find the information on where that individual is based and contact them through them. In the case of someone that lives in Australia, it's actually great because they actually have a true cyber crimes division that does actually patrol people in their own country as well as people from outside countries trying to do harm. So it always makes me laugh when people that are based in Australia say like, well, you can't do anything to me, I'm in Australia. Well, I'm afraid to tell you, actually, yes, they can, and in more so, they have an easier way to go about things to get you prosecuted in that as being an Australian resident and part of the them having their own cybercrimes division now. So it is serious. Again, unfortunately, the laws within North America are not to the same degree in levels as it is in Australia, and it needs to be more so protective of individuals throughout North America and the other parts of the world. There needs to be actually more cybercrime divisions put in place, because the rise of people doing regular offenses that are normally under regular jurisdictions and regular law terms online need to be more held accountable, and they're still not being held accountable online. With that said, next. I know my rights and what I can say / do online. Well, unfortunately, there are still a lot of individuals who think that their country of origin dictates what they can say and do online. So, unfortunately, that is not how the internet works. Again, I hate to point to America, but there are a lot of Americans that say, I know my Fifth Amendment rights, or blah, 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 or First Amendment rights, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, sure, you're right. You do have a right to, say and whatnot, whatever you wish. But, again, the problem is, and it's the biggest problem of all, the internet is not the United States of America. It is called the World Wide Web. So, unless the World Wide Web actually has something saying that you have First and Fifth Amendment rights in what you can say or do, you don't. And the general rule of thumb is that you as an individual, as a human being in the world, yes, you have a right to express your opinions and views on things, but at the end of the day, if it's not shared by others, then, it doesn't matter. And you can be as offended and upset as what you want. But if somebody does not agree with you, it does not give you a right to say that it's bullshit and you know your rights. Because your rights and what is fair only goes so far on the internet. If you want to say so publicly out in open in whatever country you live in, you have all the power to do so. Next, that it isn't some type of racist or hate crime thing or something along those lines. Everybody is welcome to speak freely. Just again, the problem is people will not tolerate things such as racism, prejudice, being toxic, being negative, and other various things along those nature. And so if you happen to be or act in that manner, you are simply being held accountable for it. You might have some people that agree with you. You might have some people that don't agree with you. That is all, that's the way the world works. We unfortunately in some ways cannot all think alike. But also at the same time, it's good that we're that way, because I'm sure the world would be probably pretty boring. So at the end of the day, again, I like to remind people, simply put, that yes, you have the freedom to express yourself, but again, same thing as in a moderator role, and in regards to YouTube as a private entity, you cannot say everything and anything you want. And as a channel owner, if I am said channel owner and I find the use of the N word as a bad thing, I can tell you that I don't want you using it on my channel. And that if you insist on keeping using of said word, that I will remove you. And that is my right as the channel owner. It does not it is not affected at all by your first or fifth or whatever American constitutional rights, because the channel does not exist in the US. It is not a storefront. It is not a piece of property in the US. It is a digital space online in the world, not in the USA. So, you know, people seem to have a hard time to understand that. And, I'm sorry if you don't, but, that's the way it is. That is life. So, moderator wrenches as trophies. This one I've actually had quite a few discussions about through varying groups in the guitar community, in another place where I've been socially observing since November. It has to do with networking and so forth. And at the end of the day, the consensus is most people do not like when people just hand out wrenches. And I'm one of these people as well that doesn't like it. Do I view it as a quote unquote trophy? I think, to me, I actually view it as a sign of respect that someone has actually been willing to think that you're capable of being a moderator. And in that instance, you should be doing what a moderator does in a side chat, which is keep the chat in appropriate order for what your channel owner wants and dictates. So if the channel owner wants the chat to be clean, not sexual, no swearing, no attacking others, that's how you do the chat. And that's how you moderate the side chat for them. Um, you know, Again, I'll speak on my own experiences because there's lots of those people that are love opening their mouth and talking about it. And that is, there are instances where, yeah, you have to be a hard ass and do things, accordingly. It's as simple as that, because that's what a moderator's job is, to actually keep control of things. Whether it be a relaxed situation or a very strict situation. And that's simply how it should be. And, I've moderated numerous people's channels, and it's funny a lot of the times when, over the years where I've seen, like, my very first moderating opportunity was for Robert Baker. And his side chat was a friggin' nightmare because everyone came in there and they thought that they could say and do whatever they wanted. And they even talked about things that were not even in relation to Robert, and promoting their own site, promoting other channels, gaming channels, and whatnot. And it's like, no, it doesn't work that way. And again, I'll talk about netiquette again here as well too. Another big no-no is going into someone's channel that you don't know or don't have permission from and spamming your own channel information or saying, hey, I got a great channel, come check me out. No, that's a big no-no. And what people don't understand is that when you're that way, you are, you're being insulting to the channel owner, as well as some other, individuals in the side chat who might not even have an interest in looking at your channel or what your channel is about to begin with. So when you get like kicked out of a side chat, for doing something like that, and you wonder why, then it's your own fault for not understanding that. Back to the topic at hand. The biggest issue, again, and I've said it numerous times as well too, is when you give out moderator wrenches to too many individuals, you run into a few problems. One, if nobody is on the same page with the same ideals, you're going to have a hell of a time to try to be able to control your moderators into doing what you want. Two, if other moderators are in conflict with another moderator, again, something that has happened in the past to myself, people who did not like the way I was doing things, purposely put themselves into moderating situations so that they could prevent me from doing things properly, or how they seemed it should be. And that also in turn makes it difficult to moderate. And thirdly, we'll bring up the last point, and that is when you have too many people, you can't moderate a channel properly. Again, as I'll repeat to the first point, that if everybody's on the same page, or if somebody is a moderator and is a buddy, they're like, oh, you're banned, but don't worry, I'll unban you because I'm a buddy. It's like, no, that defeats the purpose of being a moderator. So having too many moderators can be an issue, because in a sense, if you give everyone a bunch of wrenches, you're basically devaluing the role of the moderator, because you might as well simply have a chat with no moderators then involved and allow your channel to just go freely on its way without no consequences, because when you get a bunch of people with wrenches in there, you're going to have no moderating and no consequences if something says something racial or something offensive or starts fighting with somebody in the side chat. So it becomes defeats the purpose. Okay, so now we're going to get into a bit of a longer thing here. I don't know how long I'll take to discuss this, but I'm going to talk about the dark side of YouTube. And basically, again, as I said, I'm a social observer. I love knowing and understanding society and things about society. Now, a while back, in dealing with some of the trolls that have creeped up over the years and tried to control me, try to make me look bad as much as they have and still do today. I won't point these individuals out, but anyone familiar with my channel probably knows them. That said, back then there was faint signs of a dark side of YouTube, which was commonly known as Drama Spear. Now, back then, Drama Spear wasn't very big. And to me, Drama Spear didn't seem like much of a reality in regards to how it affected the YouTube platform in itself. With that said, within probably the last 5 years, that little small section of YouTube that used to be the Drama Spear, that was filled up with a lot of the trolls and everything else, has actually expanded quite a bit. And as much as YouTube has put the infrastructure in space, I guess in space or in place to try to alleviate these people from existing on the platform and continuing to do as what they have, the platform and the algorithms in regards to it are still failing tremendously. I still see and have individuals that I feel should not be on the platform, and furthermore legally prosecuted, and went to get help for their issues. Still existing on the platform today, and YouTube has done nothing in regards to it. So YouTube, as much as they are trying to curb it, are doing a really bad job at it, and are still allowing said Drama Spear type folks to operate on the platform with no consequences to their doing so. And I think that is, very wrong, especially when there are individuals who are using this platform to escape from reality, or maybe escape from the bad things or their own things that they have going on, like people that have physical or mental problems. This platform has been essential for those individuals to have an existence in life, have a little bit of happiness and joy. And a lot of the Drama Spear is based around not giving people joy, giving people toxicity, giving people negativity, numerous negative bad things that don't benefit these people at all. And in a lot of instances is just for their own sick little kicks, as I've come to understand. A lot of these individuals in the Drama Spear area of YouTube, and the Drama Spear doesn't just encompass certain parts of the YouTube guitar community, it also encompasses non-guitar related communities, the religious sect, the food sect, and so forth and so forth. there is drama spear type activity occurring in all the topics on the YouTube platform and the YouTube platform, period. Most of these people have mental issues that are not in check. So that's one problem with the drama spear, is that it's uncontrollable because there are people involved in it that are not controllable or are not in a proper, sane mindset to actually interact properly and being involved in the YouTube platform. Also said across varying topics and also involved in the same kind of mindset and negative issues that the drama spear does have. A lot of these people are narcissistic, jealous type people. I was actually moderating a channel since last November up until probably about 3 weeks ago, where said channel owner himself showed himself eventually in time to have very many negative traits that are very much like drama spear traits, and actually took it upon his own time to go out and personally go after channels that he felt were wrong or shouldn't be on the platform, or individuals that shouldn't be on the platform. And to a certain degree that's fine, but the problem is said individual also made it abundantly clear that if you were a moderator on their channel, or you had any type of involvement with his channel, if you were over on the other side, or you were friends with somebody on the other side, he would actually want nothing to do with you. He would throw you away as a mod. He would throw you away as somebody for being a term he liked to use, and it's a good term, consumer of content. So he would want nothing to do with you, even as a consumer of content. Like, it was just mind-blowing to the lengths. And again, these people that are mentally unstable and have other mental issues and problems, or the people that are narcissistic, jealous types, they actually, I have physically seen people doxing individuals. Like, I mean, I seen it briefly already in a certain existing group of individuals years upon years ago in the YouTube guitar community circles that I'm around. But I also seen it with more rampantness in these drama spear based channels, that people would actually go not only to the point of just doxing people. There were individuals that were so obsessed with somebody having a like of a certain individual. Like, another controversial one that did get mentioned a lot is about the whole Corey Feldman, Corey Haim issue in regards to molestation accusations made around individuals in Hollywood. There are individuals that are obsessed about sticking up for the Hollywood people, insisting that they're not guilty of doing anything, and that it's just, the person reaching out for attention. That I've seen individuals on both sides, the attacker side and the defender side. I've seen them from both sides actually going to the point of contacting child care services and trying to get those people's children taken away and involved family members. It sickly goes that deep. And again, some of the individuals I've seen in the YouTube guitar community, I believe, have gone to that level. So it's just more shocking seeing how openly and how more of it has occurred with certain individuals. And, with it being one person, it's not so bad. But when you're talking like groups of, say, four to as high as 20 plus people that are becoming obsessed about taking someone down because they like Corey Feldman, or they know something about this, or I'll use for example the Tonewood debate from years ago in the YouTube guitar community. That was almost as bad as what I've seen in the majority of the drama sphere. So with all the negativity aside, and again, still, YouTube, if you actually run into my video, do something about these toxic trolls and harassers on the platform when people are reporting them. They need to be off your platform. Furthermore, you even dictate that you need these people off your platform and don't want them on your platform. Well, do something about it. That said, is there actually any positivity in the drama sphere? The one former channel that I was moderating for, I will say, despite the person having a lot of negative traits, and they did have a few good ones. They seemed like good overall people at their core, even though most of the stuff they did was in a negative manner or negative intent. One of the decent things about it is, again, if you don't get yourself involved into it too deeply, you can network. You can meet and find new people to interact and talk with. So, that's never a bad thing. Furthermore, some of these channels that actually get pulled into drama spheres by individuals, some of these channels actually have good people involved in their communities, and so you can actually, again, further find a positive community to be involved with, no matter how much the community or the channel itself might be seen in a negative way. The individuals in the channel could be very positive. For example, I won't mention the one channel's name, but one of the more recent channels that I've been able to visually see and understand in a different light, despite the channel I was moderating for at the time's view of them, I was showing them as negative people. The channel in question that I now see and have been interacting around on, that individual actually had a guest on who was a disabled person in the USA who is actually still working during the current stuff that's going on. And what did that individual do while having them on? They actually took donations through one or two money transferring platforms. And at the end of the day, after a 2 hour stream that he did talking with the individual, interviewing him and asking him questions about his blindness and his background and so forth, at the end of the day, he turned around and he took all those donations from that stream and he gave them to that individual. So that individual that he interviewed and had on his stream actually received 300 US. So as much as the guy's stream was controversial, the guy's channel is controversial, and the couple of them that he has, he actually showed that still, as much as he had involvement in drama and controversial stuff, he still was a good person at heart. And, that's a great thing. And to kind of tie in and finish with all that, the great thing about that aspect and that person, how they go about their things, is as much as they have content that is around drama and drama related, the person themselves at their core isn't trying to run their channel or channels as a drama sphere hub for all the people in the drama sphere or who like to create drama to come to and do their things on. No, he actually he's using it as a money-making platform, as well as bringing in and attracting positive individuals at the same time. And as he learned and understood, the drama sphere, drama stuff and everything else, it has limited benefit. And since he has actually cut back the drama related stuff, his actual channel is actually improved in quality. And like I said, props to him in regards to that. So in summary, the dark side of YouTube, it is out there. Again, my advice, keep yourself as far away from it as possible. Again, being further, I'll further elaborate on that further. Do not try to be middlemen in bad situations or try to help two individuals. It just will not work, and you will get the brunt end from both individuals, if not at least one of them. And on top of that, you might even be made to seem in a negative way because of doing so. So avoid the dark side of YouTube, the drama sphere, anything in relation to that. At the same time, though, don't alienate people that might be around it that are good individuals. That is something that I have actually seen as well done many times in the guitar YouTube community, and as well as many times around channels and individuals involved in the drama sphere. Is people will say, well, you like this person, I don't want to be friends with you, blah blah blah. And it's like, yeah, that's your choice, but also at the same time, if you're pushing away a good person that is positive and a positive influence and good in your good in your life, from around YouTube, you're being just like stupid to do so, because all the things going on in life, we need positivity, we need support. It doesn't matter whether it's online or offline, whether it's over a telephone, whether it's a text, whether it's a video like this. We need it, and it's beneficial and good for us, and we should be embracing it and keeping it in with us. That said, I think I'm going to end this part of this video, so I will start a second part video here shortly after this one, and I will be uploading it at the same time as this one is done. Thanks, and see you in the second part.